We joined the Rangers and Blue Jays in the eventual 53-minute long 7th inning of Game 5 of the ALDS. And yep, you heard me right. It's a 53-minute long inning. And don't worry. We'll get to the topic in the title, trust me. But first, we just got to get through one inning of baseball. The Blue Jays are playing in their first playoff series in over 2 decades, while the Rangers have had their most successful stint of baseball throughout their entire career. That's a weird way to talk about an MLB team. You know what I mean, though. So with knowing the backgrounds of both these teams, and the fact that this game is in Toronto, it's no surprise that this crowd is ready to go wild any chance they get.
Martin's thinking the same thing. Look at this. Ball's dead.
Dead ball. The ball actually hit Chu's bat as Martin went to throw it back to the pitcher.
Why is it dead? Why is it dead? The ball's alive. No, what Chu's doing, just getting ready. He's just getting ready to hit again. He's just standing there getting ready to hit. Watch this. That's not Chu's fault. That is not interference. And the other part about this, the run scored. Odor came in and touched the plate. That's so important because if they come back and rule that ball's live, then that run has to count.
Well, Dale Scott called it so quickly. My first reaction was
stop the glove and he drops it. Or if he threw it and it hit off the back of his bat, he's got to score.
I think that's the right call.
Now, this whole ordeal is very confusing, but it's important to note, because you might have missed it, because everyone was confused, including the broadcast operator. But the Rangers got a run here. There wasn't an animation for the scoring, but they got a run.
It's incidental contact.
Well, okay, that's the perfect chance. And there they go. Now, I can't give you the exact ruling on why this play happened the way it did, but all you need to know is the umpire called this ball dead, so Russell Martin rightfully played it as if the ball was dead. But when Rougned Odor came around to score and did it in a manner that does count as a run in the MLB rulebook, the umpires had to give the Rangers a run. So, this crowd that has waited my entire life to this point to see their team in a playoff series is furious, and rightfully so. With this year's AL MVP on their team and his sidekick being one of the best bats in the entire 2010s decade to this point, this team has a real chance at a World Series. And this crowd knows that. So with their season being on the line in this game, this means so much more to them. And the Blue Jays are playing for way more than just the people in the crowd. They're the only team in Canada now, so they're representing an entire country. A country that hasn't seen playoff baseball through almost a quarter of what will be their entire lives. Okay, yeah, that got weirdly dark. Let's just get back to the game. The Blue Jays get out of the top half of the inning with the only run being Rougned Odor, and it's on to the bottom half of the 7th. And this crowd is buzzing. They are ready to explode if they are given even the slightest bit of momentum. And with Russell Martin up to the plate, who made that original mistake in the top half of the inning, if you can even call it that, they are given this chance at momentum. A ground ball to Elvis Andrus seems like it's not going to be worth anything, but he biffs it. Martin's safe at first base, and just listen to this crowd. A moment that, out of context, is truly just hilarious. But when you do know the full story, is genuinely powerful. So with the potential game-leading run now at the plate, the crowd is electric through this entire event.
Down the left field line.
Nobody more than this guy. He's been so impressive.
Yeah, I agree, and that's
The left-hander Jake Diekman and the right-hander Sam Dyson in the Texan. On the ground to the right side.
And they go even crazier when another Elvis Andrus error leads to Pilar reaching base. Runners on first and second now, nobody out. To truly understand what is happening right now, we have to understand Andrus. The shortstop of the past half decade for the Texas Rangers has been known to commit more errors than the average shortstop, but is also a player that won the 2010 Defensive Player of the Year award. And I don't really think this award holds that much weight, but I had to throw it in there. He also was a Gold Glove finalist 2 years down the road from where our game is taking place now, so he truly wasn't a slouch at short. While making 2 errors in 1 inning is outlandish for anyone in the MLB, it's important to note Andrus was more prone to making mistakes than most in the MLB. He was top 3 in errors at short this year with 22, and tied for 6th in the all-position category. And yet, this still only helps us magnify how absurd what just happened is. Andrus was the top of the top in the league at making mistakes, and he still only made 22 across the entire season. Over 1,000 innings of baseball, and he made 22 mistakes. And yet, in the span of not even a single out, Andrus just made 2. With a runner in scoring position, another runner on base, and no outs, the Blue Jays are set up perfectly to score here. So I think it's time we understand what happens when this team does score. No matter how loud you're expecting the crowd to be on this Edwin Encarnacion solo shot to tie the game in the last inning, I'm sure they're louder. So if the Blue Jays do put together a rally here, this place is going to explode.
0 for 15 in the series, but he's made some tremendous defensive plays. 2 on, nobody out.
The 7th inning, you'll never forget.
The 0-1 to Goins. Bunting. Beltre goes to third. Bases loaded.
He dropped it. Wow. Great execution. Look at Beltre, the spin, perfect throw, and Andrus just dropped it. He just dropped it.
3 outs. Texas had all 3 outs in this inning in hand. They sit here with none, and the bases loaded.
Elvis Andrus just made another error? That's got to be... I must have played the wrong clip, right? Right? Somehow, the bases are now loaded for the Blue Jays with nobody out. This crowd is going nuts. And all it took to get here was a professional baseball player who has been under the brightest of lights, completely forgetting how to catch the baseball. The simplest task in the entire sport. A sport that features players who are trying to hit a tiny ball, somewhat tiny, coming 100 miles an hour at you, and they succeed at doing that. But yet this player can't catch a ball that he's been catching since probably the age of 6 years old, maybe younger. But you just can't blame Andrus in this situation. There was some Canadian baseball god looking down on this game, furious at the top half of this inning. That's gotta be the only explanation, because this just makes no sense. So now, with the lineup card flipping over to the top half of the order, it feels like we're just guaranteed to see something special. But as if there couldn't be any more drama, we're quickly reminded, with the Ben Revere groundout, that they haven't even tied the game yet. And as the umpires take another lengthy pause to look at this Dalton Pompey slide, we realize that this rally could be over before we even know it. Eventually, it's ruled clean, keep it moving, bases loaded still, only one out. But this break did give the Blue Jays another advantage. This crowd that was already on the edge of their seats might just be on the ground if there's any more drama. With Donaldson and Bautista due up, if this inning didn't already feel like it was going to be legendary, you knew it now. What is happening? How? What is going on? And somehow, in the most absurd, the most unimaginable, incomprehensible, impossible of ways, Jose Bautista is up to bat with a chance at some of the sweetest revenge you'll ever see. This fan base has had to wait as long as any other will ever have to for meaningful baseball. Two of the longest playoff droughts belong to one fan base. And now that they finally have their chance, it seems like it's just not meant to be. It feels like the universe is against them in this moment. But in a Shakespearean level of justice, collapse, everything, the Blue Jays have their chance at perfection. A perfect tale. All they need is their storybook ending. So as MLB begins to prioritize the big moment, the fast pace of play, the highlight-driven aspect of the game, it's important to remember that oftentimes it's the story behind these moments that makes them so special. It's the storytelling in baseball that made us fall in love. It's the reason we still watch now. So yes, the pitch clock and these newer changes are good for the game. But we also can't forget why we're even here in the first place.